Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Dirt Racing Network's live coverage of the Hales Corners Sim Racing League. Special event night tonight. Holiday weekend. No points racing for the Hales Corners drivers. They are in unfamiliar vehicles. Normally they are street stocks and limited late models. Tonight they are in the UMP modifieds. Going to follow it up with the big block modifieds right here at Cedar Lake. Back-to-back shows. 26 drivers checked in for you here this evening. Third of 5 shows on the Dirt Racing Network tonight. Going to follow this one up with another run with these guys here in the big blocks, as I mentioned. And Dominic Santino will have Dirt Kings in about, roughly an hour from now. Right here on the Facebook page. Say hi in the chat. Already got New Zealand checking in. So say hi in the chat. Doesn't matter where you're at. Any of the Facebook pages or YouTube or Twitch, I can see you in that chat. Got about a minute 45 seconds until they wrap up practice and go to qualifying. Here in about 45 seconds, we will go to our pre-race ceremonies and come back and catch the end of qualifying. Scheduled for 3 heats. Top 5 from each heat will transfer to the feature. We'll find 5 out of the B main. Put 20 cars out here, 30 laps in the A main tonight. Don't forget likes, shares, and follows, guys. Made it over 10,000. Last week, Wednesday or Thursday, we decided we were for sure going to have our followers race, and we got about 40 of the best guys we could find and put them out there. They put on a hell of a show for 75 laps Saturday night. If you missed it, you missed out on a chance some prizes. A bunch of fans won prizes, including a 1-year subscription to iRacing and a 1-year subscription to School of Sim Racing. So a lot of fun for those guys. But now it is time for public address to take over. Give us our invocation and our national anthem.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
And now, please welcome Pastor Sam Foley from Port Orange, Florida, to deliver tonight's invocation.
Father, we ask today that you protect and bless those who participate in this race. May they use good sportsmanship and respect for each other. And we'll thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, thank you to both of the Foleys for their invocation and national anthem tonight. David Kinjerski quick in qualifying, 14.157 seconds. Nick Sobiak 177, and Andy Gross at 186. The only drivers under 14.2. 3 quickest in the room will be starting outside of row 2 in each of the 3 heats. Jordan Matson, Trevor Frank, Peter Reese, Scott King, Blake Johnson, RJ Tackman, and Ryan Fisher. All the top 10, all 26 cars have taken time, just waiting for the official time to run out on the session. Just get King. Normally see him at DSRL. Over here tonight with the Hales Corners guys. Good to see Scott on track. RJ Tackman taking a few extra practice laps here. So about a minute left in the session. Nate Anderson also on the track. Cody Kelly, number 13. Who is the 13 car? Nate Anderson, the 13 car. All right, well, let's see what Nate's looking like. Qualified 22nd, coincidentally, Mr. Kelly. So may have his work cut out for him this evening. I see Brian once again here cheering on Andy Gross. The Restart King. All right, down to about 10 seconds. We'll be transferring over to the first of 3 heat races. 3 heats, 1 consolation race. 20 cars to the feature. 6 cars going home before we reach that feature. On the pole for heat race number 1, the Pincala Auto Solutions number 41 from Oak Creek, Wisconsin, Ryan Fisher. And on the outside of him, the SKD King's Color and Chrome Team SKD number 118 from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Scott King. Row 2 on the inside, Jordan Matson, the 18 car on the outside of him, the 15, the Skis Graphics number 15 of David Kinjerski. Third row on the inside, the Shark RC car bodies number 112 from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, Chris Johnson on his outside. The number 64, that's the CJR Pratatosa machine of Randy Brunner out of Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. Fourth row, the 66 of Jason Enoch on the inside. Nate Anderson on his outside. On the back row by himself in the Black Flag Racing and number 10 from West Allis, Wisconsin, Tony Itzkowski. 9 cars. 5 straight to your feature. Going to go green out of turn 4 the next time around. That pace truck will rocket away from the field down here in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Green flag will follow just after that.
Green, green, green.
Green flag in the air. Heat race number 1 underway. Good start for Fisher. Fisher with a bad time last night at the 10K race, trying to transfer into the B. Got into a little bit of a scuffle and ended up on the short end of the stick. Got 2 cars into the fence. Nate Anderson being one of those, a 13 car, and 64 of Randy Brunner both caught the fence in 3 and 4. Both able to continue. Right now, Fisher has the lead slightly over Matson. And then David Kinjerski and Scott King right in behind that. Down the back stretch and into 3 and 4 to complete lap number 3. Scott King holding on to 4th right in front of Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson, the 112 machine. Just showing number 1 on it, and I know that's a throwback, and it represents a paint scheme from one of the local track heroes, and I can't remember what the guy's name is, but and definitely once again paying homage. And he's sitting in a transfer spot right now. Ryan Fisher kind of having his way, staying out in front of this thing by several car lengths. He's got Matson right in front of Kinjerski. And come around 4 to go. That time Matson got out of shape and Kinjerski had to check up, but he didn't get into him. So everybody able to continue. Scott King 4th, Chris Johnson 5th, Jason Enoch, Tony Itzkowski, Nate Anderson, Randy Brunner. So I think Cody Kelly, I think you jinxed the 13 car, man. He's really going to have his work cut out for him. He's going to start deep in the B main. 2 to go this time by Ryan Fisher out in front. Jordan Matson fairly comfortably hanging on to second in front of David Kinjerski. Scott King in the 4th spot. And still Chris Johnson. Jason Enoch trying to make a run here, but he's running out of laps. He started to close the gap a little bit on Johnson, but on the white flag lap, too little, too late. As Fisher is easily going to win Heat 1. Matson, Kinjerski, King, and Chris Johnson all headed for the feature. We'll see the rest of the field. Enoch, Anderson, Itzkowski, and Brunner in the B main. Cedarburg in the house too. Thanks for tuning in. All right. Heat 2. On the pole is going to be the 99 car, Brandon Hull. On his outside, the Kierzig Electric LLC number 00 from Waukesha, Wisconsin, Blake Johnson. A row 2 on the inside, the Raceway Hats Team Mars number 021 from Sheboygan, Wisconsin, Trevor Frank. And on his outside, the RLV Faster Motors VLR number 23 from Big Bend, Wisconsin, Nick Sobiak. 3rd row inside, Caden Carlson, the 29 car on the outside of him. Looks like the Extreme Speed Cyclone Motorsports, number 16 from Racine, Wisconsin, Randy Nicholas. And in the 4th row on the inside, the Sorens Ford, number 11 from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, Ricky Johnson. And his outside in the 126, Dean Wellick. Back row, the 4 car of Justin Blackburn. He'll be back there in the 9th position to start all by himself. So Hull and Johnson on the front row. Going green out of turn 4 this time. Heat race number 2. Green flag in the air. Everybody past the start finish line. Down into 1 and 2 side by side. 3 deep now. Hull takes the advantage into turns 3 and 4. Brandon Hull to the lead. At the line, Trevor Frank, then Blake Johnson, Nick Sobiak, and Caden Carlson, your top 5. As they work lap number 2. Front 4, pretty tight right here. Hull's got the advantage, and Frank now has escaped cleanly into second. It's still side by side for 3rd and 4th. Blake Johnson on the top, Nick Sobiak on the bottom. Sobiak trying to make the bottom work. Just a lot of momentum off the top. That time Johnson got in hot. Now cuts underneath. Sobiak had the line kind of covered. Now he secures 3rd as he goes to the top side. Battle starting to shape up for the lead. Trevor Frank now on the inside of Brandon Hull. Right against the tires. Is he going to have the lead coming out of 4? Too much momentum on the outside for Hull. Is the 99 going to hang on at least for one more lap? And now a push in and up the hill. Move the 20 car of Frank into the point position right in front of Hull. Sobiak settled into 3rd. Blake Johnson in 4th, and Caden Carlson still 5th, but Carlson running up on Blake Johnson. Trying to put some pressure on him, put him on the bubble for a transfer spot. 3 laps to go that time by. Still Frank out in front. He cleared Hull, now starting to get away. Trevor Frank, half a second. And it's a good 4/10 between Hull and Sobiak. A little closer between Sobiak and Johnson. And it is less than a quarter second between Johnson and Carlson as the white flag is in the air. Final lap for heat race number 2. Brandon Hull battling for second now. Looks like Trevor Frank is going to win the heat race, and Hull is going to have to hang on for second in front of Sobiak. Half a car there. Blake Johnson fourth and Caden Carlson in the fifth. We'll see Ricky Johnson, Randy Nicholas, Dean Wallach, and Justin Blackburn in our B main. All right, fourth and final heat race. Gridding out on the front stretch. On the pole, the Buddies Racing Equipment TDC race team at number 43 from Oxford, Michigan, Reed Rundle. And on his outside, the Renegade Race Cars, Renegade Racing number 67 from Hartford, Wisconsin, RJ Tackman. Second row inside, the Scribble Car Wars Black Flag Racing number 8 from Waterford, Wisconsin, Peter Brees. And to the outside of him in the Shark RC Car Bodies, Gross Racing number 14 from Hartford, Wisconsin, Andy Gross. The I-94 Raceway number 17 of Dean Burnt from Slinger, Wisconsin, inside of row 3. On the outside of him, the Extreme Speed Cyclone Motorsports number 7 from Caledonia, Wisconsin, Steve Nicholas. And on the back row on the inside, the GB Restoration and Repair number 77 from East Troy, Wisconsin, Gary Budzine. And on his outside, J.J. Schilling in the 1 car. Hey, Cap Boone, how's it going, buddy? All right, lights off on the pace truck. Final heat race. UMP mods from Cedar Lake. They'll be back here as soon as we finish this one up in the big block mods. Same group, same track for race 4 today. Pace truck out of the way. Green flag in the air. Boy, you see it, that 14 car, the king of the restart. And he immediately stuck his nose in between the 2 leaders up there. Tackman is going to grab about a half a car length advantage heading into turns 3 and 4. Now he's going to have the whole car at the line. RJ Tackman leads lap 1. Reed Rundle, Andy Gross, Peter Reese, and Dean Burnt. Your top 5, but Burnt's got company on the top side. Schilling using the momentum line to move around and try to take that 5th spot. That's a transfer spot. Schilling's got it this time by. Burnt is 6th. Budzine and then Steve Nicholas. And Nicholas a good distance back because he's already taken that car and rolled it into the pits. So we'll watch the battle at the front right now. It's Andy Gross working around the top side trying to get around Reed Rundle. They're both trying to chase down the 67 of RJ Tackman. 4 down, 6 to go. Peter Brees on the bottom right there moves himself into 4th, or keeps 4th, but barely just in front of Schilling. And now Schilling finds the outside wall, and that's going to open the gap and give Brees some breathing room. Best battle right now is for second place. 14 car put his nose up the inside that time. Moves the 43 up the hill just a touch, and Rundle used the outside line to keep second position. Momentum off the top side. Now Rundle in deep. Tackman got pretty sideways. Rundle had to check up. That opens the door. Gives Gross a shot, and he takes second away. Now Andy Gross on the hunt. 2.5 laps. Can he run down the 67 car of RJ Tackman? Oh, Brees got up there, got in deep, got in the back of Rundle. All 3 cars, he, Schilling, and Rundle, going to be able to save them and keep going, but Schilling got around Brees in the exchange. Now Schilling working outside on the 43, and he finds the fence one more time. White flag in the air. Action-packed heat race number 3, and Gross has closed it up. Does he have anything down here in turns 3 and 4? Went in deep. The slider checks the car up. Tackman will win it. Gross is second. Rundle's going to hang on to third. Then Schilling and Brees, your top 5. Budzine, Burnt, and Nicholas will be in our B main. All right. LCQ, B main. Gridding out to the front stretch. Top 5 go into the feature. Nate Anderson, Gary Budzine on the front row. Row 2, Ricky Johnson and Jason Enoch. Randy Nicholas and Dean Burnt in row 3. Row 4, Tony Itzkowski and Dean Wellick. Steve Nicholas and Randy Brunner in the 5th row. And on the back in the 4 car, going to be Justin Blackburn. So 6 cars will not transfer to the feature tonight. All right. Lights off on the face truck. Green out of 4 the next time. Anderson and Budzine on the front row. Pace truck getting away from the field. Green flag in the air. Weird start on the outside row. We'll watch them come into turns 1 and 2. Round 3 and 4. Nate Anderson hanging on to the top spot. Gary Budzine right there in his hip pocket. Trying to work around the inside and get the lead. Too much momentum off the top side. Anderson's going to hang on to it. Ricky Johnson, the 11 car, in 3rd. Enoch and Burnt, your top 5 right now. But Burnt's got company as Randy Nicholas took a peek down the inside out of 3 and 4. I'm not sure who that is. Dean Wellick. Dean Wellick to the inside of 3 and 4. She drops a lap down. Still able to compete as he gets away from the infield there. He's in 3 and 4 now. These guys coming into the same set of corners. Gary Budzine is taking the lead. Ricky Johnson up to 2nd. Nate Anderson has fallen all the way to 3rd, and he is in danger losing that spot to Jason Enoch. Enoch, the purple and blue car you see right there, had a shot. He was very close the last time they went through 3 and 4, but now has fallen back. Now closes it back up. Just think Anderson having a little trouble in 3 and 4. He's good in 1 and 2, just getting in there a little hot in 3 and 4. Losing a lot of time down at this end of the track. Halfway that time for Budzine. Johnson behind that, and then Anderson, Enoch, and still Dean Burnt in 5th. And Burnt can't shake Randy Nicholas. Nicholas puts a 16 car down towards the inside, spun the tire a little bit and couldn't get the drive out of the corner. Right there, just cannot get the pass made on that 17 car. Maybe this time out of 4 a little bit closer as they're side by side. Gary Budzine 2 seconds out in front of 2nd. He's going to see 3 to go this time by. Dean Burnt very smooth on the top side. Opens up the gap a little bit. Here comes Tony Itzkowski trying to get in to 6th. Or maybe make a play to take 2 for 1 here in the closing 2 laps. Right now, Budzine, Johnson, Anderson, Enoch, your top 4. We're watching the 5th and final transfer spot. It's the 17 car of Dean Burnt. You saw contact between Itzkowski and Nicholas. White flag in the air on the B main. As Budzine is coming out of turn 4. Checkered flag for him. He'll go to the A main. Ricky Johnson, Jason Enoch, and Nate Anderson now 5th place. Had a shot. Itzkowski took it. Couldn't make it happen. Dean Burnt will be in your feature tonight. Itzkowski, Nicholas, Walick, Steve Nicholas, Randy Brunner, and Justin Blackburn all finished for session number 1. All right, feature time. 30 laps. And the king of the restart, Andy Gross, will be on the pole with Brandon Holt, who's outside. Jordan Matson, R.J. Tackman, row 2. Row 3, Trevor Frank and Ryan Fisher. David Konjerski and Nick Sobiak in row 4. Row 5, Reed Rundle and Scott King. Blake Johnson, J.J. Schilling in row 6. Row 7, Chris Johnson and Caden Carlson. The 8th row, Peter Brees and Gary Budzine. Row 9, Ricky Johnson and Jason Enoch. And your back row for the feature tonight, Nate Anderson and Dean Burnt. Very good. Watching the chat a little bit. Guys, thanks for chatting it up a bit. Appreciate it. All right, 30 laps. Green next time around right there in turn 3 and 4. And the best guy in the series for starts and restarts on the pole. So this liable to get a little bit on the interesting side. So we'll get ready to watch him out of turns 3 and 4. Pace truck accelerating away from the field. Green flag in the air. Andy Gross with ease is going to lead us through turns 1 and 2. Here comes a gaggle of cars behind that. Trevor Frank into second. Jordan Matson into third. R.J. Tackman grabs fourth. And Reed Rundle in fifth. And caution right away. Chris Johnson rolling out of the pits. Ricky Johnson, the 11 car. Go back and see what happened to Ricky here. Towards the back of the field, not too tight of racing. Oh, little tippity tap. He ends up trying to check up. I guess kind of spun around there. I want to say that was off of Nate Anderson's car. Might not have been Nate. Might have been Peter Brees' car. He was off of the left side of Peter Brees' car that he ended up getting turned around. So quick caution in this one. So a lot of these guys last night in our 10,000 followers race, Reed Rundle actually ended up running 5th in that race. Nick Sobiak was in there, Ryan Fisher, Andy Gross, Dean Burnt. Dean Burnt missed being in the dash for cash by 1 position. All right, field forming up. Back to 2x2 rows. Going green out of turn 4. Still 28 laps to go.
Green flag, green flag.
Ooh, green flag back in the air. A little bit of car contact about the 3rd row back there. Now at the front, little contact as Hall got into the back of Gross in turn 2, and that's going to check things up now. Hall backwards.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
Oh, now I've lost him in my... I lost sight of Mr. Hall's car. There it is, right there. Every time I try to grab it, it jumps away from me. But we'll see on the replay here. He gets into the back of Andy Gross here in turn 2 as Gross came up the hill. It kind of checked him up. He had Tackman with contact, and then I think he and Fisher get into it down here. Oh, he got into Tackman again and then collects Fisher. He collected the 00 of Johnson right there. Gary Budzine in the middle of it. So things just a little messy on the starts here. Close quarters racing. All right, get a couple of laps in here, and they will get things kind of smoothed and sorted out. Still 27 laps remain. Pace truck out of the way. Green flag back in the air. Once again, the same line to the front. Matson got into the back. Now Tackman and Matson together. Sobiek got into Matson, and caution again in behind that. Going to see the 77 of Gary Budzine get into this, and I think he gets into it late. Happens right in front of him. Yeah, that was in front. That was Kinjerski. David Kinjerski was a little bit sideways. Go see if David had help real quick here. One more look at this getting down in the corner. Oh, yeah, I had a little bit of help there from the 29 of Carlson. So get this all sorted out. Still get ready to get back into formation and restart once again. Little rough on the start, Justin. I agree a little bit there. Got to remember, though, these guys usually in street stocks and limited lates, and the UMP is a vastly different animal. So we'll give them a small break here. See if we can get them going this time.
Green, green, green.
Green flag back in the air. Better start on the outside from Matson this time. He's going to use the top side. He's going to have enough momentum to get the lead. He does down into 3 and 4. We'll see who's got it when they get back to the start-finish line this time. It will be Jordan Matson, Andy Gross, and Trevor Frank, your top 3. Tackman right in there. Fisher, Sobiek, Rundle. That's through 7th. Slider for the lead, Trevor Frank. Oh, by a nose, Trevor Frank leads that lap. Well, Matson a little sideways, but everybody able to check the cars up. Gross and Tackman stayed out of him and each other. Still Sobiek in 5th. Rundle now working the top side, trying to take 6th away from Fisher. Not able to get it this time heading into turn 3. Cars starting to get in single file, maybe find a little rhythm here. See Reed Rundle going to the bottom now, trying to get the spot away from Fisher. Still Trevor Frank, and he is getting away 3/4 of a second over Matson. Matson right in front of Gross. Gross in front of Tackman. Tackman right in front of Sobiek. Then it's that battle between Rundle and Fisher side by side. Here comes Schilling into it. Rundle with a big mistake in 3 and 4. Might lose 2 spots. Oh! J.J. Schilling slams into the outside wall in turns 1 up at the top. And he is right behind that battle that we were watching with Rundle and Fisher. And he just goes off into 1 way high and puts the right rear right into the fence. Looks like he collected the 118 of Scott King in that as well. Well, maybe that wasn't Scott King. No, it was Scott King. Looks like maybe the 118 rolling around to get back up to the lead lap here. Little bit of damage on that car. All right, so right now it is Trevor Frank, Jordan Matson, Andy Gross, RJ Tackman, Nick Sobiak, and Orion Fisher, your top 6.
Green, green, green.
Green flag back in the air, 18 laps to go. A little different start on the front this time as Frank able to get out in front and get to the top side in front of Matson. Gross in third on the bottom, trying to get second away from Matson. RJ Tackman, Nick Sobiak, Reed Rundle 3 wide through 1 and 2 that time. Still Frank, Matson, Gross, your top 3. Tackman, Sobiak, and Rundle. As Trevor Frank starting to get away now from the group again. Back out to, about 8.5 tenths. Now Gross finds the fence. He gets into Tackman. That's third and fourth. Sobiak goes to the top side, and he's going to get a spot away from Gross. Rundle's down the inside. He's trying to take a spot from RJ Tackman as well. Andy Gross with a little checkup earlier, and that separated things pretty good. Third on back, you see at the top, I think that is Tackman once again out of shape and finding some fence right there. Reed Rundle with the slide job. They're 3 wide down the back stretch. Fisher, Tackman, and Rundle. This time Rundle squeezes by, barely enough room for that car to get into that spot. He put it there. He takes the spot. He's up to 6th.
Right,
car
Caution is out.
of Nate Anderson. Go see where Scott King was up to about 13th. It actually shows him in the lead, and that's because he waved around when he wasn't really the leader. So now the leaders and everyone else are going to be able to catch up to him. And that will change things. They will have to wave the 112 and the 17 around to get them towards the back of the field. And they'll probably have to move Mr. King, I would think, to the back. Put him EOL. Should have just put the 118, I think, EOL, and then let the other 2 cars wave around, because I think it might still show Mr. King as your leader. I'm not sure. They may have it fixed now. We do know that Frank, Matson, Sobiak, Gross, and Rundle are the top 5. RJ Tackman is 5th, and Reed Rundle is 6th. That's your top 6 right now. All right, restart with 11 to go. Green flag back in the air. Good start for Trevor Frank. Contact, Sobiak and Matson. Gross now trying to take advantage of the braking momentum.
All right, man. Caution is
And
out.
caution once again. I'm not sure who this was for. It's going to be back here pretty far, I think. I think it might be Ryan Fisher gets sideways. Oh, I don't know if that was what it was for or not, but it looks like they all get away. If that's what it was for, that was pretty quick triggered, because they were all trying to get away from that, so... All right. Still Frank Gross Well, Matson, Arundel, Sobiek, and Fisher the top 6.
All right, man. Lights are back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
All right, extended caution. Going to sort the field out. Make sure everybody's in their correct positions. Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing with you, Christopher. It doesn't look like it's very good right now.
Green flag, green flag.
Oh, shoot. Maybe we're not live. Now we're live. Sorry, I was a little bit behind. That's why we were messed up. Thought I had already advanced that tune live, but a restart. Trevor Frank hanging on to the top spot. And with the 14 car of Gross there, that is going to be difficult to do. A little beating and banging. They're coming down the front stretch. Cars into the wall, 3-4 wide. Everybody in trouble here as Frank is going to go out. It's going to be Tackman to the front. Reed Rundle just got into him on the inside of the corner. Everybody stacked on top of one another, beating, banging, trading paint, spinning cars. Here's the caution.
Man, caution is out. Caution is out.
Somehow Matson had the lead. Zach got just a little bit intense from over there. We'll go back. We're going to watch the 43 of Reed Rundle. I think that car have severely broken. Just a lap prior to when Matson took the lead. They're going to come out of 2, and everybody's going to come right back together again. Now Tackman slow into 3, and Rundle gets into him. That brings him back to the group. You can see Brees. I think Gary Budzine caught up in it as well. So, Reed Rundle taking the 43 car to the lake. So, Matson, Sobiek, Tackman, Johnson, Gross, Brees, Carlson, Kincherski, Schilling, and Chris Johnson inside your top 10. 7 laps to go. Looks like we're going to go single file on the restart. Got pushed right into the pits there, Justin.
Green, green, green.
All right, green flag back in the air. Matson through 1 and 2 has the lead. Sobiek behind that. Tackman working the bottom side. Then side by side, Blake Johnson and Andy Gross behind that. That's for 4th. Sobiek into the fence. Doesn't check him up much at all. He's going to hang on to 2nd. Tackman was going to get a challenge, I think, for the 00 till right then. Blake Johnson found the outside fence. So that opens up Peter Brees, Andy Gross side by side for 4th now. Giving chase, 4 to go. Running out of laps. Matson, Sobiek, Tackman, then Gross, and now Andy Gross finding a little something on the top side, some momentum in that 14 machine. Tackman staying married to the bottom, keeping the 67 car right down there in the tacky stuff, gets a drive out of 2. Side by side, coming to 2 to go. Matson and Sobiek still 1-2. We're watching the battle for 3rd. Now Gross with the momentum off the top side. Move Andy Gross in the 14 car up to 3rd. Coming to the white flag. Oh, Sobiek clips the fence a little bit. That opens things up for Matson. He takes the white flag. Good at gaps. First to second, second to third, into 3 and 4. Final time, Sobiak thought about the slider, wasn't going to get it there, backs it up. Matson wins it. Sobiak second, and Gross comes home third. Good finish to what turned out to be a very physical race. So we'll get our top 3 around here on the front stretch for us and try to chat with these guys. See what they thought from being out on the track. So we're waiting for Mr. Matson to bring that 18 car around here. Maybe park it up there in victory circle on the inside of turns 1 and 2. Instead, he'll bring it right down beside the 23 car. Pull it down here on the front stretch for us. And we are going to work on a different camera angle for interviews here. Hopefully before the next time we come back to Cedar Lake. A lot of good camera angles in here, but just not a great one for this. That might be as close as we get right there. All right, let's get Andy. Move him. Nick, I know, is in here. I saw his name a little bit ago. And Matson. I do not see Mr. Matson at all. But we will talk to Andy Gross first. Andy Gross, you got a copy? Andy Gross, are you there, buddy? Hello, Andy.
Got me right.
I got you now, buddy. Well, man, that was an interesting feature. Tell us a little bit about your view from the cockpit of that 14 machine out there.
Yeah, just right off the get-go, I want to say sorry to Trevor. We got tangled up on the front stretch, and it seems like we couldn't get off each other. But, yeah, there's a lot of beating and banging, and we're all trying to go for the top lane around the outside of the track, and that's pretty much the only way to really get around. But that's the first thing. I just want to apologize to him. I didn't I don't know what the hell happened there.
Well, a lot of physical racing out there, and no points on the line, so having a little bit of fun, I'm sure. But a different animal in the UMP versus what you guys normally run with the street stocks and the limited late. So more of a handful, especially on this slick, tight little track.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I love the slick track. I love this place, and just ripping the lip. I made a mistake on a restart again and lost the lead, and just try to do whatever I could to get back to the top side.
All right, man. Well, still a good run. Looking forward to the big blocks here on the same track in just a little bit.
Yeah, most definitely, and hopefully we can have quite a few less cautions in the big block race.
All right, man. Who you got helping you out before we let you get out of here, buddy?
Yeah, as always, I want to thank Nate from Henco Waterjet Supply for all your waterjet consumable needs. Shark RC bodies, ski graphics. I want to say hi to my dad, my mother-in-law. All the guys from the bait shop that are watching tonight. Just a great time tonight. Thanks to Scrub It Up Car Wash, and thanks for my wife for letting me do this on a Sunday night. And thanks for having that 10,000 penny to win race last night. And too bad I couldn't be involved in that last night.
Yeah, that was definitely a fun one, and a lot of guys, and it was unfortunate that not everybody could make the feature, but we appreciate you being in it. Thanks for chatting with us. Look forward to seeing you the big blocks in a little bit.
Thanks, Roger.
Third place finisher, Andy Gross. Let's move on to our second place finisher, Nick Sobiak. You there?
Yeah, how we doing?
Well, you ran second, so you're doing pretty good, man. Tell us about the feature and how tough it was to work your way up there.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. A lot of hard work. I've been testing on this track for a little bit with these cars. Not a big fan of them, how they handle, but pretty good. Ran good when it slicked off. did good when I needed it, got through all the accidents, and we finished second. So that's really good for us.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty physical race out there. Like I was saying to Andy, you guys not normally in this big ill-handling machine, the street stocks and the limited late. So kind of a handful and a tricky track lead to a little bit of that physicality tonight.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Lot of throttle control. This is a very driver's car right here.
All right, man. Well, who's helping you out on that one before we let you head off and jump in that big block?
I want to thank Faster Motors, VLR, ROV, my mom, my dad, my sister, and yeah, that's the whole team.
All right, man. Well, thanks for chatting with us, and good luck out there in the big blocks in just a little bit.
Thank you.
Second place, Nick Sobiak. I am not seeing Jordan Matson anywhere. Don't think we're going to get a chance to chat with him. Unfortunate, because he did a good job picking up the win here tonight. So congratulations to him. Quick look through our final results for this session. Matson wins it. Sobiak was second. Gross in third. Tackman fourth. Peter Reese in the fifth spot. J.J. Schilling in sixth. Trevor Frank comes home seventh after an unfortunate off-track excursion. Caden Carlson in eighth. Ryan Fisher ninth. Chris Johnson was 10th. 11th to Jason Enoch. Dean Burt in 12th. David Konjerski 13th. Nate Anderson 14th. Blake Johnson 15th. Reed Rundle was 16th. Gary Budzine 17th. Brandon Hull 18th. Scott King 19th. And Ricky Johnson rounding out the field. These drivers will be back here in just a little bit. Big block mods. Right back here on Cedar Lake. Should be in about 15 or so minutes. We'll be back live with you for that. Don't forget, this show ending now. Another one in 15 minutes with the Hales Corners Speedway Sim Series. Also, Dominic Santino will be over with Dirt Kings. That is only on the Facebook page, Dirt Racing Network, so join us there. Otherwise, guys, until we see you the next time, thanks for tuning in. Keep it dirty, and we'll be back shortly.